Hi, my name is Yasu from Japan, and in my video, I drink sake and introduce in both Japanese and English because I want you guys to, drink more sake to help, this country, Japan. And while I drink sake, get drunk, and then I talk about, I do the Hitorigoto, which means talking to myself. And today I'm gonna talk about the housing mortgage interest rate in Japan in October, and also the new data that they released for the newly built condominiums, the sales activities price contract rate in September for Osaka and then Tokyo 23 word. And the sake that I'm gonna drink is from Fukuoka. Name of the sake is called Tanaka 65. If you can read the Chinese character, probably you can guess. If you cannot read the Chinese or Japanese character, maybe it's time for you to learn Japanese by using Duolingo, which I use it to learn Chinese. And this one is actually sparkling Japanese sake. So cheers. The first way smell. It smells like the very clean, fresh, and tropical kind of smell. And then the flavor is so good. It's very sharp, sparkling sensations on my tongue. Nice bitter taste, but mellow texture. I really like this kind of sake. It can definitely go well with food as well. Yeah. Okay, so the 30 years fixed mortgage in the US for the housing, it just went up above 7%. For the first time in 21 years. It's really crazy, but obviously it's being on the pressure on the price on those properties in the US because of the higher interest rate. It just will continue to be that way. In contrast, in terms only the interest rate though, the 35 years fixed mortgage plan in Japan for the home buyers, the interest rate, the fixed one, is only 1.48%. This is just so crazy. It's been like 1.3, 1.4, and then the highest in the last 10 months is 1.52%, which is this August. But compared to what's happening in the rest of the world, very low interest rate in this country. And then since then, still decreasing. As of October, it's 1.48%, 7% in the US, 1.4% in Japan. Crazy. So which would indicate that it's a lot easier for people to borrow money at the low cost. If anything, that would actually push the people's borrowing power, which means people can borrow more money to buy more expensive properties. But one thing people need to be aware of how the system works in this country is that how much people can borrow is how much money they actually make annually in this country, which really indicates how much tax you pay. If you do tax saving, not really, but virtually speaking, you can think that way. Having said that, there is an organization called Real Estate Economic Institute, which release the data every month about newly built condominium, like average sales price, contract rate, and so on. September result just came in for the Tokyo 23 ward. It's not looking good. It's really bad because the contract rate has been below 70% in the last 4 months, and then this September that was like a 68.9%. If the contract rate is below 70%, that means consumers are not really behind it. If it goes above 70%, that means consumers are buying it. The last 4 months below 70%, it's not looking ahead. Even though the average sales price in Tokyo 23 World in September, it's 87 million Japanese. Oh my god, I forgot. 87 million Japanese yen, which is up by 1.8% compared to last September. But fewer and fewer people buying properties, and eventually it's gonna put a huge pressure on the developers to lower the price. Otherwise, they cannot really get rid of the inventories. So in Tokyo 23 was it already hit the ceiling, maxed out. So it's already downtrend. In contrast, Osaka City, it's performing really well. Contract rate is 71.2%. I think as far as I remember, it's been above 70% probably more than 1 year. And if anything, except Tokyo 23 World, property price is actually cheaper. Like for example, the second largest city, Osaka City in Japan, average sales price in Osaka for September, 45 million Japanese yen. It's like less, 50% less of what it would cost in Tokyo 23 World. So I guess price range wise, people can still afford to buy it, and maybe that is why contract rate is keep above 70%, which is really good, because especially like the World Expo is going to be happening in Osaka in 2025. But for those people who have US dollar, it doesn't matter to you because of the super weak Japanese yen. It's already 45% discount. So if anything, buy property in Japan. Cheaper, more stable. It might be, you should be a little bit worried about the natural disaster, but I don't know. I've been back in Japan for a while. I wouldn't worry about that much. Anyway, so that's enough. This is a sake channel. I'm feeling pretty good buzzed because this is really good. So let me remind you that the smell of the sake Tanaka 65, very light, clean, fresh, tropical kind of smell, and then the flavor is very sparkling, like champagne or sparkling wine, very sharp, enjoyable sparkling sensations. And then I enjoy the bitter flavor. Texture is very mellow. I really recommend you to try this sake. I bought it from the Hasegawa sake store in Tokyo Stations. So if you happen to go to Tokyo Stations, stop by at the Hasegawa sake shop. You might find this one called Tanaka 65. That's the name of the sake. The sake brewery name is called Shiraitoshuzo from Fukuoka prefectures. They use Yamadanishiki rice to make this sake. Highly recommended. But let's say you love Japanese sake, or you're in Japan and you try some sake and you like it, then please let me know, because I really want to try something new. And if you do recommend something, I'm gonna try and I'm gonna make a video to let you know how I enjoy the sake that you recommend, And if you're still watching this video, please subscribe to my channel. If you do, I really appreciate, and then I hope to see you in my next one. Until then, please take care, and for now, Jane, bye. Bye.